Alright, let's get started. Just wanted to do a smaller stream. If anybody wants to hop on in, ask any questions, I will more than happy to answer any questions you may have about the Profit Switcher, the retro mic mining tools. If you want to have me walk you through any of the code, you can do that as well. I'm basically going to spend this stream and we're going to make some changes, try to fix some things that are going on. So let's hop into it. Right off the bat, I think there's a bug that the import functionality is not working properly. So let's jump into that first. So you know what, let's run this first. See what's going on. I believe we have it over to HiveOS rigs. And this one, we've got a want to mine endpoint on it. And if we go down and we try to import, it looks like it's not importing. Hey, what's up, DMC? How's it going? Feel free to ask any questions you may have. If you want me to walk through any code, let me know. We're just going to be trying to fix, one of the guys on the Discord reported an issue with the latest version with the import functionality not working right. So we're just going to try to get that fixed real quick. See what's going on there. Alright, let's see. This is the import coin. And this is most likely due to some recent changes. Let's see what fields required. Alright, hop back over here. Maybe, oh, it's debugging. Hop over to the rig, run the import. But string, not in correct format. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, the hash rate. Hash rate's empty on some of them. Okay. Well, that would do it. Alright, let's hop back over there. We will just default this to 0. Guess that'll work. Oh, it's a string. Just call it to 0, I guess. That'll work. Alright, let's see if this will... Whoops. Let's see, we got an error here. Oh. So let's this should work. Let's see if this fixes our issue. So we'll go ahead and run it again. Hop over to the Hive OS rigs. Grab our rig that has our what to mine endpoint. Run the import. And it looks like we still have an issue. Nope. Everything looks good now. Okay, that brought in everything. That brought in a lot of stuff. Okay. Oh, that brought in all the Zerg stuff too. Alright. Now let's see if the refresh works. We might have a problem with the refresh as well. Just double check. Refresh looks okay. Alright. And then they were also having an issue with the flight sheet selection. So let's see if this is working. So select my Aeon flight sheet. That looks like it's working. So that should be fixed now. Just double check a couple things. Alright, looks like we are good. Let's give it a refresh. Make sure everything's still there. Hey Marcella, hey, were you the one that was having issues with the latest version? Alright, let's go ahead and get this checked in. I can get it. Well, why is that part of... That's weird, that should be excluded. Okay. You've got some stoppings here and there. Okay, so I just fixed the import coins. So I'm going to probably publish a release here shortly. That should fix that side of it. There was a bug with what to mine. So that should be fixed in the next release. Okay, so auto exchange working, profit switching isn't. Okay, so let's do this and let's tweak. Yeah, let's tweak the profit switching and we'll add some more log statements. And then what you'll be able to do on the next version is head over to the dashboard. And when you're looking at your logs, just hit clear here. And it'll show you all the system logs. It'll show you any errors, and then you can report back to me what those errors are. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's adjust that. Are you using any of the gold shell functionality, or just the Hive OS profit switching? Using it as a scheduler. um, I need to think about it. Okay, you're only using HiveOS. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna add logging, and then hopefully that will. Okay, put that catch in the wrong spot. Hopefully that will improve things. I did not change the logs. Alright, give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and plug this in. What were you noticing different about the logs? Oh, okay. That means it's not actually running the profit switching, probably. Let me check that side. Okay. Alright, DMC, you said you were talking about the Zill scheduler. Can you clarify what you would want? We already have somewhat of a scheduler built in. When you using the groupings, you can kind of control what coins are mined at what time of the day. But we don't have something in place that looks at block times. So that's the challenge with Zill, right? Is it would have to run at the same, that block would have to run at the same time every day, which I don't think is the case. Right, yeah, I recommend people to do Zill at the flight sheet level as well. Alright, let's take a look at profit switching. See what's going on there. Turn jobs. Profit switching. Alright, let me change. Turn this on. I'll just set it to every minute for now. We'll make sure it's working. And let's make sure that job is running. It should be. Yeah, Zill, I would definitely use the miners to do it. It's not full-time mining. It's only like 2 minutes out of every couple hours. So trying to have our profit switcher control when and when not to mine it doesn't seem like a good use. It would complicate things insanely. Oh, the background. It is a HD DVD collection and a bunch of video games. Older video games. Sega CD, Sega Saturn, Sega Genesis. I used to be a really big retro video game collector. Alright, let's turn this one on. Let's turn Aeon on. And let's try that. Alright, let's make sure this thing's running. It is. I've got multiple YouTube accounts. So Retro Mike is actually my game collecting channel, and then Retro Mike Crypto is this channel. So I originally started my YouTube journey with the video game collecting several years ago. Oh, what do we got here? The validate key part isn't working anymore. Ooh. Okay. That explains a lot. Hi, Erickson. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the stream. We're just going through and trying to fix any bugs that have been noticed in the recent versions and answer any questions you guys may have. If you want me to walk you through any code, just let me know. Alright, so in the latest version, I added code to validate the API key because on the hosted version, what a lot of people were doing is it looked like they were leaving their API key configured with their rigs on, but they disabled it in their Hive OS account. So it was causing lots of failures. So this should... Yeah, this is not working right. Okay. Does this have the... Yeah, it's got the info in it. So let's see what's going on here. So this looks like it may have broke the profit switching part. So let's see what's going on here. code gone? What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. What? Keys there. Auth check. Does that mean they don't support that anymore? Let's see if we can do a different one. For anybody curious, this is the HiveOS API doc. So this has the definition of basically every API function that HiveOS supports. So what we were doing is we were trying the auth check. That doesn't seem like it's working. I don't want the security token. I don't have an estimation. I don't think it's a lot of people. I get push notifications on failures for like the dev fee stuff, so that I know if people are mining with a coin that I don't have supported, so that I can add support for it. But that's really the only type of tracking I do. I'm not tracking users or anything like that. Let's see here. That creates an auth token. That's not what I want. Auth confirmation. That's not what I want. Alright, well, let's just do this. We'll just do get account. Then. Alright, we'll switch this to account. I'm sure usage will pick back up once profitability restores. Right now, I know a lot of people probably are still turned off. Okay. Alright, so on this one, let's do that then. Switch that thing back to okay. Yeah, a lot of people are just turned off right now. Or they're spec mining one individual coin. They're not trying to, mine what's most profitable right now. Because what's most profitable is still a loss for most people. Yeah, you're mainly off. I turned off a few of my rigs. I don't have a whole lot. I mine from an apartment, so I'm kind of restricted on power. But I've pretty much been mining consistently since 2017 with at least one rig. So I don't turn completely off. But what I did is I turned off pretty much everything, with the exception of like 4 or 5 rigs. That way I don't have to pay the HiveOS fees. Let's see if this works. It should work now. Yeah. Alright. That will fix. That should fix profitability, or that should fix the profit switching. So I'm gonna publish this right now. Yeah. Let's do a deployment real quick. Let's do, I don't want to do that. Let's do 11. I'm located in the United States, in Tennessee. So my power, I have a set power rate. However, there's a fuel delivery charge. So typically it is, my all-in cost is around 8 to 9 cents a kilowatt hour. However, for the past 2 months, there's been a fuel delivery surcharge tacked on top of that. So it's been closer to like 10.5 cents a kilowatt hour. I'm mostly mining Vertcoin. I've got 11 A2000s running, and I can pull up Hive. I've got, this rig has 8 A2000s in it. This has 3 A2000s in it. This is an FPGA, which only uses like 30 watts of power. This server was just running my mining pool, but I recently turned that off. So this one I could probably shut down. And then this is 8 RX 560s on Vertcoin as well. But these are extremely low power. So you can see the software wattage is only 200 watts for the whole rig. The whole thing pulls, including CPU mining, this thing's pulling around 400 watts at the wall. $0.20 a kilowatt hour. Yeah, I know some people in Europe that are at like 55 cents a kilowatt hour. Like, I can't even imagine. That's rough. That's real rough. Alright, let's go ahead and get this published. Publish. We'll go ahead and get that published. And while that's going, we'll hop over to GitHub and generate our release. Oh, let me turn that thing off so it doesn't profit switch on me. Alright, that relay should be published. If you want to do an update that should fix it for you. Go ahead and update my instance as well. See if it decides to come back up or not. Doesn't look like it. Let's see. My instance, I'm running within a Docker container, and sometimes the install causes it to stop, and I just have to restart it manually. Don't know why that's happening. I have to get that figured out. This morning I did submit an application to Flux to get the mining tools available on the Flux network. So anybody will be able to deploy it. Essentially it'll deploy like the multi-user version that'll require you to log in. But you would be able to deploy it on the Flux network. So still waiting on approval from them on that. So hopefully that gets approved. Alright, so that should fix the profit switching side for any issues you were having. Let me hop back over there and make sure. I think I get this thing running. Yeah, every 15 minutes. It'll run in 5 minutes on mine, so I can double check and make sure everything's good. And for those who aren't aware, the latest version, I did add auto withdrawals. So the way this works is I recommend using your destination currency on this, but you can have it auto withdraw. So here's an example on like CoinX and KuCoin. Auto withdrawing Flux to my Zelcore wallet. Right? Flux is doing a double snapshot on October 31st. So I'm trying to get as much Flux in my Zelcore wallet as possible for that snapshot date. So right now I am auto withdrawing Flux. So that's why those are there. That's kind of how you set it up. This one's actually turned off. Let me turn that one back on. And then on some exchanges, you do have to indicate the withdrawal fee. And this is required to kind of deduct the amount. A lot of exchanges will include it. But for whatever reason on CoinX, I did have to put the amount here to deduct. I will probably have to do the same thing for KuCoin. I haven't tested that one yet. TradeOgre does not support auto withdrawal in their API, unfortunately. So at this point, TradeOgre will probably never be supported for auto withdrawal, which is why I don't have it turned on. TXBit, if you're going to do auto withdrawals, I recommend Dash. It has the lowest withdrawal fee of anything on TXBit. Most of their other ones are pretty high withdrawal fees. So it's probably most advantageous to withdraw to Dash, even if you're doing it manually, and then auto exchange using any other exchange. Self-exchange, their fees are pretty low. I use Dash to kind of move funds around there as well. I know a lot of people like to use Litecoin, but I actually prefer Dash. It's super fast. There are pretty much no transaction fees, and the withdrawal fees are very minimal on most platforms. But that was added in the latest version. I also put a scroll bar on this thing because there's starting to be a lot of columns on these. So the exchange does have horizontal scroll. I may add horizontal scroll to the Hive OS rigs as well, because that config's getting pretty big. If you have any enhancement requests, feel free to drop them in the chat or post them in Discord. I did create, in Discord, I created a feature request channel. Please post anything in there that you want added. I started building out the roadmap. So if you head over to GitHub, you can see the roadmap of everything. So we've got auto updating is the next thing that I want to implement. I'm going to remove the drop down for development and production environments, and then replace that with an auto update. The next things I want to do is add the capability to manually apply a flight sheet direct from the grids, and then pretty much implement all these exchanges. These are pretty much all exchanges I use. And then I also have an iPolo G1 Mini, and that specific ASIC supports two algorithms similar to the Goldshell HS box. So I want to figure out how to make that one work as well. Okay, cool. So with the HS box, it supports multiple algorithms, and the profit switcher will switch the algorithm for you on the fly. So if it's switching the handshake, it'll switch to the handshake algo. If it's switching the SIA coin, it'll switch to the SIA coin algo for you. So I'm looking to do a similar thing with the iPolo. I don't have any of the iPolo Ethereum ASICs. I'd like to get an SE ASIC and throw it probably on Etho protocol. Probably be what I would do. Still trying to get my hands on a KD Box Pro so that I can test that one. And then let's head on over to Nhash and see what they got going on. So I've bought from Nhash before. In fact, that's where I got my G1 Mini. I paid a lot more than this for it. I bought it shortly after it became available. But they have pretty good prices on all their ASICs in comparison to Goldshell. Like, Goldshell is going to be a little bit cheaper because you're buying direct, but these prices aren't too bad. If we head over to Goldshell, I want to see if they still have the KD box. Yeah, they sell the KD Box Pros for $450 now. But if we look, their LB box is $205. They actually sold out of the SC box. Interesting. That's one that I want to get. The SC box and the KD Box Pro are the only two Goldshell mini ASICs I don't have. So I do want to get those. But if we look at the LB box, it's $205 there, and it's $229 over here. So it's not a horrible difference. The other thing I'd like to get is an ST box, which I believe they have used over here. They're still $699, but the ST boxes are still quite profitable. So I'd like to pick up an ST box sometime soon. And then I was going to go with this, but I think since they released the SE line, I'll probably go with the SE line. I know the price is very similar, and this is 330 mega hash, but this is 220 mega hash at only 116 watts. Extra consumption directly from the rigs. So you want, you want extra consumption to be calculated in the profitability? Yeah, I'll add it to the roadmap. It shouldn't take long to do that. Yeah, so what are you trying to... What are you trying to capture? Because the other thing that you can do is, like, if I pull up, let me pull up my instance, and I head over to pretty much any of these rigs. Sorry, mine's a little slow. But like if I head over to this rig, I see what you're saying. You don't want to have to put power on each individual line. Yeah, so it depends how you're, yeah, it really depends how you're looking at it. I can add it. Yeah, I can add it. I'll put it in the roadmap. Alright, so we'll put additional miscellaneous power on rig and auto deduct and profit on each coin. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I will put that on there. When I put the power, right, each algo is running a different power. And technically you could put it on each coin, but then you'd have to maintain it on each coin, right? Like this is total power consumption at the wall for that rig when it's on that coin. So as a temporary workaround, you could do that, but yeah, I can implement that. That's fine. And then you can keep this as just the rig power consumption. And then when it does the calculation, it'll take into account that plus whatever you set on the rig as additional power. Yeah, that's fine. No big deal on that one. Were you running into any other issues other than that profit switching not working? Which it looks like it's working now because my F1 Mini just profit switched at 9:45 to BMW 512. Yeah. On the smart plug stuff, were there specific smart plugs that you wanted supported? And here we can see that did switch from A on to BMW, so we're good there. Yeah, I do use the Casa ones. There's a bunch that I can support. At this time, I just added support for Casa because those are what I use. They have a bunch. Casa even has power strips now. These things, which I should probably just order one. Let me see what the difference is between these, other than being 3 and 6. Yeah, so these have individual power ports, it looks like. Is this whole thing 15 amp? Yeah, so Tuya they do have an API. The only issue with it is, let me see if it's on here. Yeah, they do have an API. I'll probably have to buy the device to make sure it works. Yeah, like I'm not worried about the functionality as much as testing it to make sure it works. The biggest thing, what I like about the Casa one is it actually does a check to turn off and on based on current state. So you don't have to worry about, like on this one, I think this one you even have to indicate the regions. And this does require username and password to connect to. We can certainly make it work. I just need an example of one that you have. Let me see if there is. I don't know what the. Do you know what the ZIL window is? DMC? I don't know. Does it tell me? Everything I see says it's just every 1 to 2 minutes. Is it every 3 hours or every 2 hours? Right, so that's the challenge, is you can't just use a straight scheduler for it. No, it's fine. The smart plug thing, it's easy to implement. I need the device to test with it. So if you have like an example device that you can let me know, like I can pick up a device. Yeah, so DMC, if you can post in the Discord like the exact window that it happens, then we can probably do it, but yeah, like there would have to be some type of API to get that information. No, it's fine. Like I was actually looking at some, because I was actually thinking about picking up one of these to see how this would work. Um, because I actually have 15 amp circuits, and these are, I believe these are 15 amps. Yeah. And they're individually controlled, which is really nice. I've never used the Toya app. I've only ever used Casa, and I also I have another one. Let's see what it is. Bought a long time ago. Is it these? No. That's the Casa, that's the Casa, that's the Casa. I guess is it these? No, it's not those. I don't even see them on here. I have a different one. Those are the 103 P2s, P4s, and these are the energy monitor. Yeah, I thought I got them on Amazon. Yeah. Are you using 220 volt? Are they 220 or are they 110? You guys have is everything down there 220? I think these were the ones I was going to pick up to test with. And they say that they are Tuya compatible. But the only thing with these is they're only rated at 10 amps. I'd be hesitant to put a rig on those. Unless it's very low power. That was my only concern with those. If you can send me the model number of one that you have, that'd be great. We can get that figured out. I think, was there something else I saw in there about that? Yeah, because I have to see how the device name stuff works on those. Since they're in the cloud. Alright, I think I'm probably going to call it a stream. The latest update is pushed out. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Returns profit switching. Sorry about that hiccup. I will... I've updated the roadmap to include that latest request for the additional miscellaneous power. I could probably get this in there pretty quick. I'll try to get this and maybe the auto update done as well. Maybe we'll do another stream tomorrow and I'll just run through and I'll get those implemented. If you want to hop on, feel free to hop on. We can get them tested and make sure everything's good. But other than that, thanks everybody for jumping on the stream.